All right, so I'm about to start my trip to Houston. This is my iX. It's 2024 Extra 50. Had to stop at the local Walmart to get some water and some Diet Cokes to get on my journey. And talk to you in a bit. All right, well, we're taking off today, or I'm taking off. I'm flying solo. Typically, my lovely wife Linda would be going with me, but I am going to a meeting in Houston, Texas, for my state organization, the Texas Association of Nurse Anesthetists. Looking forward to it. It's been a while since I've been to one of these. It's going to be a long drive, but that's okay. I enjoy driving this car. It's the BMW iX 2024 edition. Rides really well, and it's fun to take on trips. We've actually gone. It's got 20,490 miles on it right now. We got it with just under 5,000. It was I believe, a lease return, and we picked it up for about 30% off, which is nice. With most of all the warranty left on it and everything. So, but it's been a great car. We love driving it. Love taking it on road trips. We'll see. This has been one of the longest drives I've done in it. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to stop and charge, hopefully, for the first time on a Tesla supercharger with Magic Dock on it. It's in Temple, Texas at the Buc-ee's. That's the goal. That'll be my second charging stop. I'll have to charge for a brief period in Ty, Texas at the Pilot Flying J EVgo there. Nice little place. We've charged there several times. Been using the BMW route planner on our trips, and it's worked pretty well. It hadn't, I'm sure Teslas are better, but it's worked pretty well, I think. No major issues with it. It's pretty good at predicting what our state of a charge will be when we arrive. So right now I'm supposed to charge, arrive at the Pilot Flying J with a estimated charge of 44% state of charge. So we'll see. I typically drive about 5 miles an hour over the speed limit. And that's it. Nothing major. Don't like the highway patrol pulling me over and stopping me if I can help it. No reason to be in a big rush. And so I'm leaving Lubbock. I'm about to leave Lubbock, but hopefully this will be a smooth trip without any issues, without a whole lot of glare on the camera, hopefully. All right, don't move over. That's all right. Gotta love Lubbock drivers. Or actually just drivers anywhere. I know that. So this will be the first video, hopefully, that we put on. That'll be a road tripping video. The first of many, hopefully. My wife is a school nurse, so she has holidays off and all that good stuff most of the summer. And I've switched from full-time to PRN so that I have more control over my time off so that we can go and travel around the state. The goal for me is to just show people how nice EVs are, how great they are to drive, how fun they are to drive, and also to show them that you can pretty much travel anywhere across the state of Texas without any worries about charging problems. There's pretty much a charger every 50 to 70 miles that you could stop and use, especially on the highways. The highways are covered pretty good right now. There's some of the smaller interstates that probably need a couple more on there, but it's nice. Hopefully, the one gripe I have about the BMW in particular right now is that we still haven't got supercharger access. It almost seems like a crime to me that we haven't got it. I know they announced it in, I think, October of last year, and haven't really heard much from BMW out of them since then. So once we get that, that'll help. We'll make it a little bit easier. Hopefully traffic will be smooth. I am driving on the eco mode. We'll see how well that does. I think efficiency averages on the highway for me is probably 2.6 to 2.7. Uh, Nothing spectacular. Once I get steady on a fairly smooth uh, road, it's usually it hits right around there. Back again, heading down 84, getting close to the cutoff to where we go switch over to East I-20. On I-20, we'll be able to use the hands-free ADAS system from BMW, which works pretty well. I've been pretty happy with it on the times I've got to use it on the highways. The biggest issue I have with it is I'm on US 84 for about 120 miles, but from Lubbock to I-20, and I can't use it on any of this section, which is kind of disappointing. This is a pretty busy thoroughfare. Lots of semis, lots of people and cars cruising up and down. It's a 4-lane divided highway. Should be able to have hands-free use on it. It should be a mapped road, but it's not. So, but once we get on I-20, we'll be able to do it. The ride has been uneventful so far, kind of pretty smooth. I did have to go over some road construction where there wasn't any lines on either side, nothing in the middle, none on the sides. So the lane keep was struggling because there wasn't any lanes to keep. So, but everything else worked fine on it. Hopefully, they'll increase the number of mapped roads that they have in their system sometime soon, and hopefully, we'll get the update to be able to use the Tesla superchargers. I'll mention that once again. We'd really like to have that. And hopefully I-20 won't be crazy busy. We'll be on I-20 for about 25 or 30 miles to get to the Pilot Flying J in Ty, Texas. We'll stop there for a bit and charge at the EVgo there. We've stopped there many times. Typically, we're old people, so we stop there and we'll plug in, have a Denny's there, so we'll go eat something at the Denny's and come back when we're done. And typically we're charged to over 90% by the time we're done. And I'll be at a pretty high state of charge, not saying 41, so we'll see. Shouldn't be an issue. I'll have to figure out how much charge I need to get from Ty to the Buc-ee's and Temple. Once I do that, everything else should be good. Hopefully we'll only charge there maybe 15 to 20 minutes tops before we'll have plenty to get to Temple. I'd like to be low enough that we can see how fast I charge and actually watch the charge there, maybe film some of it at least. But that'll be good. And here we are making the move to I-20. Lots of traffic. It generally travels down I-20. Lots of semis, lots of travelers going across the country. Assist Plus is ready, so I can go hands-free. We'll do that. Get the warning on the screen telling me to be careful. And pay attention. Like I said, the system works pretty well on the BMW. I've been pleased with it. No major issues. It doesn't like me getting a drink from a can. If I lift up a can in front of it, it warns me every single time. I think it should give me a little bit of a break. But it's worked well. And really, I've never tried the GPS. Most of the people I've seen who tested the iX said that at 70, they're really going 60 days, like 2 miles an hour off. So they usually go do their test at 72 for the 70 mile an hour range test. So I just assume I'm on 80, I'm traveling 78. So really it's about 40 miles from the cutoff from 84 to on to 20 till you get to Ty. We've gone 120.4 miles and I'm down to 53%. I have bought a DJI Action 5 Pro camera, and I made the mistake of ordering off Amazon and getting the kit. I would I would suggest not getting the kit. It's definitely there's no instructions in the kit. There's a lot of stuff that I'm not a genius by any stretch of the imagination, but I can usually figure that stuff out. And a lot of it, I don't even say how you attach it to the camera, but I can't figure out how everything works. So if you're going to get one, buy the camera and then order the accessory specifically made for it. That would be my suggestion. Yeah, I like the way this hands-free system's working. It works well. Took that corner pretty good. It wasn't a real sharp corner, but took the corner well. Like I said, the biggest worry for me is some of these semis kind of wander all over the highway, and it kind of makes me nervous because I wish it would sense and move over, and I haven't noticed it doing that. If it could read the truck scooting over into my lane and move over some, that'd make me feel better. But most of the stuff of this car I've been really happy with. The self parking's pretty good. It usually splits the lines on parking spaces pretty evenly, so you have an even amount of space on either side. I've never used one in a Tesla, but that's been one of the complaints of the Tesla system is that it's kind of haphazard in how it parks. It may park right on the line. It may park way over to one side. It may just had been not a real consistent performer as far as parking goes, self-parking. I have never owned a Tesla. I wouldn't mind owning a Tesla necessarily, but it's not an overpowering desire either. I am excited about the BMW iX 3 that's coming out, and also the Mercedes GLC with EQ technology. That one looks pretty good too. They're stepping up the game. It'll put a lot of pressure on other companies to do the same. We looked at a Cadillac Lyriq a few years ago and decided not to. My wife wasn't ready for us to be a 2 EV family yet. So I understand that. Hopefully I've got her convinced that we're to where we can get a EV to replace her car sometime in the not too distant future. Maybe an iX3. But our first electric car was a Volvo XC40 Recharge, and we loved that car. It was fun to drive. I don't know if you call it a compact SUV. It's pretty small. It's like I think it was like 166 inches long, and this is like 195. So it's significantly shorter than this, smaller, easy to park, crazy horsepower for a car that size. It was really amazing. But the one problem is it's a small car, so it had a small battery, and we took it on a road trip once, and it was my first road trip in an EV, and we took the long way, and we stopped several times to charge, and my wife was just very nervous about it, so we didn't ever take that one road tripping again, and then wound up trading it in on the iX. And every road trip we've taken since has been in this car and really haven't had any issues. When we first got it, I was still pretty new, and I'm no expert by any stretch, but getting used to charging and finding chargers and stuff, it's been early on was a little bit of a challenge. But now, just since we bought this, it seems like there's been like a ton of chargers that have opened up along the routes that we go down. So it's kind of nice. On the way home, I'm hoping to I'm gonna go back a different way, and I hope to stop at a Iona and charge there for the first time too. I have charged at the Mercedes chargers before at a Buc-ee's in the Fort Worth area, and I love those. I would gladly charge there again, but I haven't got to charge at an Iona yet. I'd like to. Well, to conserve battery life, I'm gonna sign out for now. I'll sign back in when we get to Ty and hopefully film a little charging there. Small Texas town. Quite a way to live. Crawling around These streets. Truckers welcome. All right. This is what it's like cruising down the highway through this part of Texas. We've gone through Cross Plains. I'm trying to remember where we're at now. Rising Star. This is Rising Star. And Family Dollar. Gotta have a Family Dollar in these towns. We are about 128 miles away from the Buc-ee's at Temple, Texas. Should arrive at the state of charge of about 18%. Although if I'm stuck behind a truck driving really slow, it'll be higher than that probably. Plenty of traffic on this small road though, so you gotta pay attention when you pass on these roads. It's been a good trip so far. We are only 225 miles in, 226. Still got a long way to go. But the ride hadn't been too bad. Traffic hadn't been too bad. No major incidents. Stopped at the Pilot Flying J and charged there in Ty, Texas. Wound up staying probably a little bit longer than I should have. Trying to figure out this new action camera. I've never had one before. So, of course, I should have spent last night trying to figure out how to make it work, but I didn't. So I've got to play with the formatting of the SD card and all that kind of stuff when I get to the hotel tonight, so I can have it ready to work come Sunday and the trip back home. So we'll see about passing this truck. Good thing about having an electric car is I can get around people in a hurry. I don't know if that's showing up on the. Looks like it might be showing up on the phone for my head-up display, so you may be able to see how fast I shot to 96 miles an hour. But I did pass them without any problems. Yeah, that's one of the big things with the electric car is when you push down on the accelerator, you accelerate all at once. It's pretty impressive. That was even on eco mode, which should slow down your acceleration and all that kind of stuff to make your car a little bit more efficient, get more miles out of your battery charge. So that was pretty good. So there's a lot of people who are worried about what's going to happen, or not necessarily worried. Some of them are happy about the $7,500 tax credit going away at the end of this month. A lot of people are thinking it'll spell the end to EVs. None of that's true. It will probably slow down the sale of them. There will still be sales of EVs. The number of EVs on the roads will grow. No doubt about that. All you have to do is do a little research and look and see at who all's investing in charging infrastructure. One of the biggest players is going to be Walmart. Walmart's kind of gone EV charging crazy. There's like 8 open in the Metroplex, 8 to 10 that are already open. There's another bunch that are under construction or are permitted. I think across the country, there's about, the last time I heard them talk about it, there's a guy on YouTube that follows all that. I think there's like around 70 that are either open and working, under construction, or permitted. And nobody really started following this until about February this year. That's pretty impressive that they're putting them in at that rate. We don't have any in Lubbock yet. I haven't stopped to ask any managers there in town to see if any of them are coming. But at some point we will. Probably within the next couple of years, we'll have at least one Walmart in Lubbock with a supercharger in it. And they're using really top quality equipment to install by name brand. It's the same one that the big ones are using. At Bucky's, they have Tesla. They also have the Mercedes-Benz high-powered charging network system there, and they use those. The Mercedes use Alpatronic HYC 400s, which are some of the best. It's one of the most popular brands of chargers being used right now. Iona uses them. Iona is a conglomerate of, I think it's 8 car manufacturers: BMW, Mercedes, Hyundai, Kia, I think VW, GM, Ford. Ford's not in it. GM's in it. There's several. I think Toyota has finally joined it, but they've all pooled their money, and they're installing charging stations across the country too. I don't know how many they've got up and running, but quite a few. I'm hoping to charging one on the way home. I'm gonna go a different route so I can go to an Iona and charge there. So there's charging infrastructure going up everywhere. And then since the court said that the NEVI program had to get finish the funding, so if you were approved for funding for the NEVI program, they have to give you the money. So there's going to be even more chargers that are built. The good thing about the NEVI program is that encouraged smaller companies to build in more rural areas, like Plainview, Texas has a NEVI, some NEVI chargers there. Happy, Texas has NEVI chargers there. Hobbs, New Mexico has 2 chargers there. They're part of the NEVI program from Francis Energy. But so and those are the places that you need charging the most, is those more rural areas where there's not big cities there. It helps out. It makes it less of a challenge to travel. And right now, like from Lubbock, I can get to Santa Fe stopping and charging once. I can get to Dallas stopping and charging once. I can get to Austin to stop and charge once. I can get to San Antonio to stop and charge once. Houston takes 2. It take at least 2 to get down to Corpus too, probably. But like I said, the new ones, this car's got about a 300-mile range. On the highway at highway speeds, it's probably more like 250, 260 miles. The iX3 that's coming out that I was talking about, it'll probably have legitimate highway miles. Hopefully it'll have at least 320 to 350 miles of genuine, I'm driving 80 miles an hour down the highway range on it. When you have that, and as fast as it charges, you could get pretty much anywhere, and you could get anywhere in the state of Texas pretty much on one charge, stop and charge once. And the new Mercedes that's coming out, the GLC EQ, will be in the same boat. It'll be able to go entirely across the state of Texas and with stopping like once to charge. In half a mile, turn right. And it charges really fast, but it's not as fast as the new BMW will. It'll be close. The new Mercedes will probably be more luxurious overall. The charging is getting better and better. Batteries are getting better and better. One of the things that this administration is doing, they're trying to incentivize EVs, and not just EVs, but solar, wind power, all the things that help take stress off of our energy grid. Those of us who live in Texas, this year has been relatively mild compared to the last several years. We didn't have any times when they were warning us about potential brownouts and asking us not to run our stoves or our washers or our dryers during the day. But that's happened several times over the last few years. And the less energy you have going into the grid, the more likely that you'll have issues with that. Personally, I think the state with their big slush fund, the emergency fund, should use a little bit of that and incentivize homeowners to put solar on their homes. If you could do that, you'd take a lot of stress off our grid. Take some of the money out of the oil companies' pockets that run the energy companies. GM and Ford really need to start working on their electric cars more. They need to charge better. GM's really doing a good job. They are selling a lot more EVs than any other than Ford is, for sure. They've got a wider range. They got cheaper ones that you can buy, which is all good. They all need to charge better. They don't have to have high peak charging rates, but if a car only charges at 150 kilowatts, it needs to hold 150 kilowatts all the way up to 80%. If they could do that, it would be so nice. All the Cadillacs really should be 800 volt systems like the new BMW or the new Mercedes, ones that could charge super fast. If you're going to keep them at 400 volts architecture, though, they need to hit their peak and hold their peak for a long time. And right now, that's the weakest point with the GM stuff. They have some weird charging curves. They've gotten better, but they're still not as good as they should be, especially the high-end cars like Cadillac. Nice cars. We've test driven. We got to test drive a Lyriq a few years ago and keep it overnight and drive it around. Super nice car, super comfortable to drive. We came close to buying one, but kind of chickened out. But anywho, it'd be a good car to have to cruise in. All right. Well, I'll leave y'all alone for now. Talk to you in a bit. All right. So I stopped at Temple and charged up there. I charged 88%, so that should be plenty of range. We've actually been getting pretty good efficiency for this car, I think, in the high twos for the most part. So let's go. I'm eating a delicious Buc-ee's sausage. Probably shouldn't do that, but I am. Now this says I will arrive at Thai to charge there with 15% state of charge. So we'll see. So hopefully everybody's had a good weekend. I thoroughly enjoyed my trip to Houston. Got to see some people and learn some things. These kind of state meetings are kind of nice. You don't learn any one topic in particular. You learn a little bit about everything. Some for continuing education, sometimes you'll go to one that's specifically about difficult airways or about patients with who are high risk cardiovascular, things like that, people with pulmonary disease, those sorts of things. But this one, we had one lecture on trauma and like different types of trauma, blunt and penetrating trauma, and how you resuscitate each one. We had one on high risk OB. So, and then multiple others. Was an enjoyable day, couple of days though. And hopefully I'll get home at a reasonable time. That was the one bad thing when you don't leave Houston until close to 1 o'clock. It's a long drive. Just got to put the pedal to the metal when you can. I got to see my first Vistic on the road today. Cadillacs are doing, all the GM car companies are doing well with EVs. The Equinox is a really nice semi-entry level EV. You'd like to have one more like the Bolt used to be. That would you could get around 25 to 28,000 as a base price, and hopefully the new Bolt will be that cheap. It'd be nice and still have decent software. But like I said, I've been pretty happy overall with the BMW route planning. So far, it's been pretty good. We shall see. Anyway, it has been a good trip. Enjoyed it. The cars ran really well. Had no issues. Knock on wood. We're up to 21,191 miles as of this second. Not too bad. And we got it with, I think it was around 4,800 miles. So in about 16 months, we've gone 16,000 miles, I believe, or nearly 17,000 miles. So not too bad. We did some driving on it. It is a very good road tripper. I do wish it charged faster. I do wish that we had supercharger access. BMW, where's our adapter? We need our adapter. That's it. Gotta do the Kathy Connor thing like she does to Porsche. Of course, now they have supercharger access, and you can purchase a Porsche branded Electron Plus charger through the Porsche website and probably Porsche dealers, which you can't do with BMW dealers right now because we don't have supercharger access. Okay, that's my griping for right now. Anyway, we're heading out. We'll be in Thai in 2 hours and 45 minutes, thereabouts. Have a couple of different angles. Me, because who wouldn't want to look at me for a while? And looking out at the, whoa, good Lord. Looking out at the scenery as it goes by. Hopefully that didn't capture the woman who was probably wearing a swimming suit because her cover-up dress thing was kind of blowing up, showing a little too much butt cheek for me. All right, let's get going. Put ourselves in efficient mode and let's cruise. And we are at 1,722 feet elevation here. So we still got another 1,400 to go up or thereabouts to get to Lubbock, I believe. I think it's 3,100 to 3,200 feet elevation at Lubbock, which is higher than most people think. Most people think it's just flat land and
turn left at the end of the road
not
707 and then
much height to it, but it is fairly high elevation wise. All
The
right.
expected drive time is 2 hours and 8 minutes.
2 hours and 8 minutes. I'll be right around 10 o'clock. Yay! Well, the DJI camera will at least get a pretty sunset, I think. I'm curious to see how well it and this iPhone do on low light. And I can use Assist Drive Plus. Yay! For about 10 minutes, seems like. Because you can't use it on the way between I-20 and Lubbock. US 84 is not mapped out in the system that BMW uses to let you drive hands-free there. But it's not a bad drive, and I like the Assist Plus. The hands-free driving works well on these highways. The next time I take a trip like this, I am going to go ahead and just stay on the major highways. I'll take I-20 all the way to the Metroplex and then hang a right and go down, well, I can't remember which highway. It's not 35, but go down whatever highway it should be mapped to and go to Houston that way. Get a chance to test out the system driving a really long distance. It works well driving from to Dallas when you do that because you can use it all the way into Dallas there and use it through most of Dallas too. I think you can use it on Loop 820 and a lot of those other thoroughfares, the I-35 east and west. You should be getting closer to the turnoff to head towards Lubbock. I turned off the driver's assist when I saw the trailer going crazy in front of me. So we'll see. I may put it back on here. See what we do. I may turn it down a little bit. All right. There's enough traffic on the highway here that we're not keeping the speed limit, which is good. I guess it'll keep me a little closer to where I need to be efficiency wise. I am ready to get home, though. I got to take exit 238A, Roscoe, to go home to get me back on US 84. And it's saying I will arrive at the house with 14% state of charge. And it'll vary it back and forth for sure. And definitely slowing down to 68 on a 75-mile-an-hour highway. I need to get over and get another lane. We have 20 miles, 19 miles where we turn off onto 84. I'm going to do this. All right. Yeah, BMW likes to change lanes in a hurry when you do that on the assist. It's pretty abrupt. You got to be ready for it. Not for the faint of heart, for sure. But I like it. I've gotten used to it. The first time I did it, it was crazy. But now you get it a little bit figured out, and it's not too bad. Okay, I'm back to driving like a peon again.
1 mile exit right.
I'm about to get on US 84 and head back to Lubbock and move on down the highway that way. Hopefully, you can get home pretty quickly. We can talk about some more EV stuff if we need to. Part of the conversations we had at this meeting was related to the government activities for CRNAs in Texas. And since the Speaker of the House is from my hometown now, I guess I'm kind of going to be thrust into helping to build some bridges with them, I guess, which is okay. I don't mind doing it. I can help out a little bit, see if we can talk. But if I do that, I may wind up having to talk with him about infrastructure, the Navy program, all that good stuff, so they can know what we think should be done with the money from the Navy program that's finally being allocated back to the states they were approved for. Hopefully, I really haven't looked to see. Hopefully, Texas has some monies available still that'll help out to get more charging out more in the periphery, out in the rural areas, smaller towns like Plainview and Happy have some places like that. Snyder could use some chargers of any type, Tesla or CCS. I guess everybody's going to NACS now anyway, so might as well put the NACS ones up. I'm going to slow down, take it easy. Well, I don't know. I may just do this. We'll stick with the 80 for now. That should be a good speed. So we're on the home stretch. 84 will take us all the way to Lubbock, fortunately. Heading into the big windmill farm we have right here on the road heading home. I don't know how many acres it is. It's pretty big, though. I'd be curious to know how many actual turbines there are out there. Probably several hundred at least. It spans for a long ways, both directions. But one of the things that the new administration is talking about hot and heavy is wanting to bring manufacturing jobs back to the U.S. I don't know how many jobs you can bring back to the U.S. Most, like cars, for instance, most cars, they're kind of built all over, and you piecemeal them together. That's the way the American car manufacturers are doing it. They have parts that are built, or parts of the car built in Mexico, part in Canada. They travel back and forth. That's how GM and Ford both do it. Uh, Hyundai and Kia have some plants in the U.S. I think Volkswagen's got a plant or two. Several of the European companies have, but I don't I don't know how many more plants they'll be willing to build. The one thing, and I think I've said it before, that we need, as more and more people buy EVs, which people will still continue to buy EVs. They'll do it at a slower rate than they were uh, prior to the tax break being taken on, tax incentive being taken off, but they'll still continue to buy them because EVs are great cars. People like them. They're fun to drive. They're economical. They last a long time. So there's lots of reasons to do it. But if you want to bring manufacturing jobs to the state of Texas, the best way to do it is to do something that's not here already and not a bunch of them already in the U.S., and that's batteries. A big battery plant, most of those big battery plants they build cost anywhere from $2 to $4 billion to build. So you'd make a ton of money, or have a bunch of money coming into the state from the actual building of the factory. And then typically they have anywhere from 15 to 2,000 full-time employees that will be making well above minimum wage for the vast majority of them. And so that's more money for taxes, more money for all that good stuff that people buying products in the state, people buying homes, help the home builders. Uh, it just makes sense to do something like that as opposed to trying to tell people they need to build more cars in the U.S. We already have enough car manufacturing capacity. In fact, it's been many times over the last several years where plants had to shut down shifts and stuff because the people weren't buying cars fast enough. Anywho, I really wish Linda would have been with me on this trip. It's a lot easier to have witty banter when there's somebody with which to banter with. I don't really have anybody to banter with other than myself. And typically I'm the only one that thinks that's funny or witty. 105 miles to home. Or to the turnoff, 111 miles to home. And it's saying I will arrive with a 14% stated charge. Not too bad. There we go. That helps a little bit. You can see a little bit better that way. Yay! Now you can see my pale, pasty whiteness, my balding head. That's always a fun thing to do. And hopefully my microphone's still working. When I checked at Tide, it had 69% charge left in it. So hopefully that'll be enough to get us home. And hopefully my phone battery won't die. I think it was up to 80% whenever I hooked it up. I do think I'm going to get the new iPhone 17 Pro Max sometime soon. It has the cooling plate. Maybe that would help with doing filming using your iPhone like this, driving a car with it up on the windshield or the window. It definitely was hotter than heck earlier when I took it off of the magnet. And maybe the magnets might heat them up too. Maybe it'd be better to have a clamp holder on it than a magnet. May have to try that out too. We shall see. It's 8:15 in the evening. And it's saying I'll get home at 9:45.
Not too bad. Like I said, the trip was fun. The meeting was fun. I went to a happy hour on Friday night. When I first got there, I went to a happy hour, and that was fun. Then they had uh, a party for the Political Action Committee, the people who donate to the PAC. I donate to the PAC, so I got to go to that. And I got coerced into bidding on a silent auction, and I won a bottle. I think it's Dewar's Scotch whiskey. I may have to have a little glass of that when I get home, just to help me sleep, and see if it was worth the amount of money I donated to get it. I'm sure it's probably a $60 bottle of Scotch, maybe more than that. I don't know. I paid significantly more than that for it, so who knows? We'll see. Hopefully, it'll be an uneventful drive. We can get home and get situated, and I can look at the video or some of the video. It's a lot of video. I'll look at some of it tomorrow, maybe. And go from there. All right, I'll check back in a little bit. All right, we are in Post, Texas. Beautiful Post. It is actually what you think it is. Named after C.W. Post, I believe is his name, the fellow that started Post Cereals. I think the story was he wanted to build a utopia here in West Texas. Not that Post isn't a nice place, but there's no place in West Texas that it'll ever be a utopia. And I'm from West Texas, and I love West Texas. But he came out here and built this place, and didn't last very long out here, but the city did. The town survived. Nice little town. The Post Bold Gold Antelopes is the mascot for the school here. And they actually have a convenience store here that has Tesla superchargers in it, version 3. Of course, I can't charge here with my BMW because I don't have a BMW approved adapter, and I don't have access to the Tesla supercharger network yet. BMW, could we work on that, please? But this is a nice little town, not too bad. It's been a good trip. I'm a little tired. I'm ready to get up and walk around and get out of the seat. I may have to crack open that bottle of whiskey I bought in the silent auction when I get home and have a late night nightcap. But that's all in the future. An hour away, probably. We did learn some things today. Not that I didn't know them before, but this car will get up and fly when you want to pass cars and 18-wheelers on the highway. It's pretty impressive. It's what 500 and something horsepower will do, I guess. It's pretty crazy how fast this thing will go when you put down the accelerator. It will fly. Hopefully, we can piece this into something that's entertaining, that people will like. I'm just learning how to do this, learning how to talk to the phone and try to piece together something that would be interesting for people to watch. I would love to have somebody like and subscribe. That's what we want. I want you to smash that subscribe button and hammer that like button, and we'll go from there. All right. Well, we're about 2 blocks from home. Trip went well. The route planner worked pretty darn good. It said we were going to arrive home with 14%. I'm certain standing at 15% currently. So looks like it's to be pretty close to accurate. And all I did was drive from Lubbock to Houston and from Houston back. Drove there on Thursday, came back on Sunday, and we are at 1,041.6 miles. So I'll probably make it up to 1,042 miles by the time I pull into the driveway. If not, it'll be really, very close. Good trip. Car did great. Love driving an EV. Charging was not an issue. The Mercedes-Benz chargers, the Alpatronic HYC 400s, the cabling they use in the connector is way better than what EVgo or Electrify America use. They should take a look at it themselves and find a cable that's easier to use, easier to get connected than the ones they have. It's a big difference, really. It's not as easy as using a Tesla charger for sure, but it makes life a lot easier when you can use the HYC 400s. That's for sure. And Mercedes uses them. Iona uses them. I'm trying to think who else uses them. I think there are other companies that are using them now too. But even the ones that aren't using HYC, the Alpatronics, they ought to use ABB, and the other companies need to find better cabling systems to make it as easy as that to use. So here we are. And we finished exactly 1,042 miles. We're up to 21,532. I think our average efficiency was about 2.8%. So that's not too bad. Did pretty well. All right. I guess we will talk to you later.